Right, right.
You know, like I was at a Bruce Springsteen concert. He went 4 hours. I couldn't do that. He went 4 hours one night. I was at Grateful Dead would play all night. I couldn't do that because I would have to get out of there.
Were you born to run?
I was born, yeah, no, like for president down the street. Or if I'm anywhere in public for too long, I got to get out of there. Like last week, I was surfing for 2.5 hours, right? If I went longer than 3, I would have to go, absolutely no matter what, because I can't be out in public too long. Then he asked completely different, she asked a different question. What do you think of those women that cover their hair in accordance? People who cover their hair?
Mm-hmm.
Women who cover their hair, right? But with expensive wigs.
That look sexy.
That are made to look so nice, probably nicer than their actual hair. The answer is, we've talked about this here. We talked about this on the show a year ago. To me, it goes completely against the spirit of the mitzvah. The spirit of the mitzvah is that you should only...
Finish your point and then look at the
Oh, okay. That the spirit of the mitzvah is that a woman should only look good for her husband, right? And she should save her best features, which is her hair, for her husband. I think we talked about this recently.
This is generally true. I mean, you go around the neighborhood, generally speaking, Orthodox women don't look that great.
Okay, but they save themselves for their husband, right?
Yeah, but you go down the street and they look a bit rough.
Okay, so you're just gonna get yourself all kinds of women coming to you, lady. So what am I saying? You just threw me off. So when you wear a wig that's really expensive and it really looks hot, what are you doing? You're looking good for other men. The whole purpose of you covering your hair was so that you don't look good for other men, but you're gonna now look good for other. I don't care what the Torah says. I don't care what God says. I want to look good for other men. So in my mind, you get no mitzvah. You missed the whole point. The whole point is that your hair isn't the thing that your husband should be saved. Is that you shouldn't look beautiful for other men. So when you spend all that money and you look at me, I'm wearing my girlfriend's hair all the way down, look at me, I'm so hot, you missed out on the whole thing. Okay? Because now you look good for other men. You've missed it, you're going against the Torah. You know what I'm saying? You're going against the entire spirit of the mitzvah. Right? The best way to do it is to use a tichel. You know what a tichel is? A scarf.
Mm-hmm.
And wrap it up, or in a snood they call it, wrap it up in one of those things. That's the way to go. Wigs, sorry, they go against the whole idea.
Now you mentioned that I threw you off there. Well, I remember there was this 18-year-old girl I met on these singles ads in the Orlando Sentinel, and she happened to live just down the street. So I went down the street. I talked to her for about an hour. I got her clothes off, started pluking her, and she started scratching my back with the nails till I was bleeding and in agony. I'm trying to pluke her, and she's scratching. She's watched too many movies or something. Totally threw me off. And other women, they're oh, I'm so enthusiastic, ride the wild pony, big guy, bouncing around, ride the wild pony, big guy, and it's you're throwing me off, you're totally, wrecking my rhythm. And then this other girl, she's oh, I love to talk about Torah while I'm in bed, while I'm having sex, totally throwing me off. So, I just wanted to share that. Anyway, Ellen says, when you say dress different, does that mean different from non-Jews? No, it means different from kangaroos.
Yes, we cannot dress like kangaroos.
It's very important.
No, we have, when we say dress different, Jews have to wear Jewish clothes. That's the thing. You keep your clothes, keep the same clothes, the Jewish clothes that was passed down from generation to generation to you.
So Ellen says, do you think there's a market for Orthodox makeup that makes you look old and haggard? Well, Baruch Hashem, Orthodox women, generally speaking, already look old and haggard, so they don't need any makeup.
You're just going to have them all... You know what? It's what I said last week. You don't want a from Orthodox woman, as you call them, Orthodox, right? You want a Seventh-day Adventist chick. You want a chick...
Well, they're fresh-faced. And
yeah, that's what you want. I really don't think
they're not 20 pounds overweight
hair. You're not attracted to Jewish women. Ashkenazi Jewish women you're not attracted to. I'm going to say that.
Not the fat ones.
You don't want an Ashkenazi Jewish woman. You want a convert. You want a convert who either grew up African American or a Seventh-day Adventist member. Maybe both. What about an African American Seventh-day Adventist member?
Oh, that's for sure. I'm getting hot. I gotta.
What if and what if she became frum and then she rode you like a pony?
I don't like that.
Woo! Rode you like a pony.
Like she wore like a hat.
She wore a cowboy hat.
And she like had a feather duster, and she'd like hit me with it.
Oh God! All right. Ellen goes on. Are Jews who wear baseball caps always required to wear a kippah underneath it? And the answer is no. The requirement is to have your head covered. A kippah has become like a traditional thing, the way we do it. But if you had a baseball cap, you're good on covering your head.
Ellen asked you some really considerate and thoughtful questions.
Yeah, Ellen needs to start spitting out the money.
That's for sure.
I mean, seriously, you're controlling the show at this whole point.
She sent us a free pizza.
Okay. Do you wear a kippah under your cap when you surf? If not, why not? No, I don't, because the kippah will get ruined by the water. Same reason I don't wear my tzitzis in the water. The same way I don't wear my tzitzis in the shower. The same reason I don't wear my kippah in the shower. Levi wears his kippah in the shower because he's really, over the top with that.
And I don't like to wash my hair because it's like easier to keep my hair formed if it's really greasy.
Right. He doesn't brush out his beard either because he needs places to hide his food.
Yeah, if I go like on a long walk and I want to have some food.
Right. If the cap is okay and the cap has no Jewish markings on it, then how about a leather or suede, a suede kippah that was covered in, check out this question, that was covered with hair on the top of it, like some Hollywood thing, It's like, for studios, they try to make you look like you have hair, and if the hair matches your head, or on that, for the same idea, how about a toupee? How does that fit in the mix if it covers your head? What if the toupee hair color was different from your own, so that it wasn't a case of just like you're bald and putting on it? It's like, does toupees count? And I think those are good questions, and I'm not sure what the answer is, so I would say I would leave those questions to your local Rav to decide. Again, we don't poskin here unless you're a good-looking woman, right? And
then I have to see you privately.
Right. But generally, no. Those are good questions that you would ask your Rav. Like you'd say, like, can I get a heter to have a toupee count as a head covering? I'm not prepared to say yes or no on that. Okay, that's basically.
Yeah, can I start talking about the Pasha?
Let's start talking about the Pasha. You have anything else?
No, that's good. So, who was Zimri, and what noble purpose was he trying to achieve by hooking up with that Cosby, daughter of Zur?
Oh, want me to answer that?
Yeah.
All right, let's give some background on this. Zimri was with Bill Cosby's daughter. You knew that was coming. Zimri wasn't just an anybody. He was like the prince. He was the head of the tribe of Shimon, and Shimon was the tribe that
descended from Aaron. Didn't he come from Aaron?
No, he wasn't the Levi. He was a Shimon. He was from the tribe of Shimon.
Okay.
And he was the head. He was the Nasi of the tribe. He was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
He was the head of that tribe. Hundreds of thousands of people followed him. He was a big Rav. Mm-hmm. And he was the leader of that whole community. And what happened was that community kind of like took a few liberties with the women of Midian. Did they not?
Yes.
They had a little bit of a good time over there, did they not? They took a few liberties with them, and they bowed down to the ball poor, right? Because you know how it starts with women. First you want something from them, and the next thing you know, you're covering up the wall, right? And then goes the beard, and then the next thing you know, you're doing a whole show based on why liberalism is so good,
Exactly.
Social medicine, because this is what they'll do to you.
Yeah.
This is what women will do. They get their claws in you and they start scratching.
Exactly.
And then the next thing you know, they're writing, woo, woo. I don't think I can get that image out of my head. So here's what was going on. They went to Zimri and they said, hey, you've got to do something to stop this plague because all these Jewish guys are dying. And it's not like they did anything really wrong. All they did was took a few liberties with a few shiksas. Right? So he said, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get that plague stopped. So in a way, he was a martyr.
Mm-hmm.
Now he said, you know what? I know how it's going to go down.